Okay, let's go ahead and tackle some rear shocks on this Impala we've been working on. We did the front brakes, we did the struts, now we're going to go ahead and hit these rear shocks. Now this procedure will be vehicle specific, so I'll note that this is a 2014 Chevy Impala. I'm going to put a picture on there of a good spot to jack this car up on the back end. Okay, starting off down below here at the bottom of the shock, you're going to see a bolt that passes through here and a nut. Go ahead and put a wrench on this nut, put your impact gun or socket over here, and go ahead and remove this nut and bolt that goes through the bottom of the shock. That bottom nut and bolt is a 21 millimeter. Then if you go to the top of the shock, right behind this cover, you're going to see two bolts under here, one on each side. You can actually bend this cardboard back enough to get in there. I didn't rip mine. If it does rip a little bit, it's not a huge deal. But go ahead and stretch back in there and go ahead and get those two bolts out. There's a better picture of them for you. Like I said, right underneath that cover there. Okay, once you got those two 18 millimeter bolts out, your shock is going to go ahead and pull out. Let's go ahead and cover getting this top bracket off of here. Now, if you're bored or have a little extra time in your day and you want to mess with this thing, you go ahead. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and get right down to it. This shock's junk anyway, so go ahead and stick it in your vise, clamp down it nice, good and hard. 15 millimeter on the top nut there. Your new shock came with a new nut, so we can go ahead and get rid of that one. Slide this piece right off of here. We're going to go ahead and put that right on the new shock. Let's go ahead and cover putting this on the new shock without damaging that shock. Okay, so here's our new shock that we do care about, so we don't want to damage this. Go ahead and slide our bracket down over here. Put our nut on there, get that started. And then to keep this from spinning, this one almost went all the way on my hand. To keep this from spinning, what I did was took some vice grips, and this is toolbox drawer liner, just any kind of rubber that'll grip onto that shaft. And then I'm just going to put my vice grips on there very gently. I'm not going to squeeze the living hell out of them. Just enough to hold that from spinning. Like I say, it doesn't have to be real tight, just enough to keep from spinning. This nut doesn't have to be torqued down any crazy amount. That's all the more it goes on. And that's ready to go back on the car. So go ahead and put some anti-seize or whatever floats your boat on your nuts and bolts here. And we're going to go ahead and get these started. Fish that right down through there. Put this up in place. You just want to very lightly start that first one so you can get the next one in there. Okay, once you got them started, go ahead and tighten them down by hand. And then we go ahead and zip those on. Okay, once those two top nuts are in, we're ready to put our bottom nut and bolt in, and then this will be done. So here we are on the bottom. We'll go ahead and rotate that around. And you may need to lift up or down on the rear assembly here to get that to fit through. I don't know how I did that one-handed while holding the camera with the other hand, but kudos to us. Put our nut on here. Again, 21 millimeter nut and bolt. We're going to tighten this down, and then we're done with these shocks. That's all there is to rear shocks on the 2014 Chevy Impala. I hope that helped you out, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do that now. If enough of you jump on board, we can get a bigger garage. Maybe I can get some better lighting. And if enough of you jump on board, possibly an assistant. Thanks for watching.